What's up guys and welcome to Xbox On. Now, one of my favourite things in games is when you stumble across an awesome Easter egg that makes you laugh.
And there have been so many games in 2017 that have been full of incredible Easter eggs, so let's take a look at some of the best.
If years of hidden Halo jokes have taught us anything, it's that Bungie are the masters of the Easter egg. If you're new to Easter eggs, these are hidden secrets that reward you for breaking the game's rules. For example, hop into Destiny 2's Dawning event this Christmas and score 3 goals in a row on the giant ice hockey rink in the hangar, and you get to see the sky light up with fireworks. But our favourite Destiny 2 Easter egg involves this little ball hidden on the platform above your starting position in the tower hub. By carefully kicking the coloured orb to 4 different locations, you can power it up. First, you have to boot it to the right on the upper platform where you find it. Then you need to kick it down the stairs behind Tess Everest. Then you kick it up onto the platform behind where it spawns. And finally, you need to get it to the middle of the walkway just to the right of Zavella. Do this and it vanishes, spawning a giant inflatable version of the Traveller. Now feel free to kick it around and play volleyball with your fellow Guardians. No wonder the Red Legion want to steal the Traveller. This thing is the must-have Christmas toy.
Now, Morgan might be busy escaping out of prisons or dispensing kindliness and wisdom, but apparently he's still got time to run a taco place in South Park, The Fractured But Whole. A man of so many talents. If you want to see him unleash one of his other talents, aka a fighting prowess so strong and terrifying that it will make your eyes water, you need to head to his taco place. You'll see him behind the bar making an honest day's living. The trick to starting the battle is to head behind there and punch him 3 times. Now, I'm not sure what kind of satanic maniac would punch the frankly lovely Morgan Freeman, but that Easter egg isn't going to uncover itself. Once you've properly assaulted him, a battle will begin. I warn you, Morgan Freeman is a beast. As in, he's ridiculously overpowered and most likely only beatable once you're near the end of the game. I mean, I started up the battle and he killed my entire party with 1 deadly ice fart. God, he's good. So, I took the only route I knew. I passive-aggressively farted all over his shop and then left without wishing him a good day. Take that, Morgan Freeman.
Here's without a doubt my favourite Easter egg in Injustice 2. It's also highly unlikely, and that's in a game where you can literally take a gorilla on a trip back in time to ancient Egypt, before returning to the present and smashing himself with himself. It involves flinging your foe at the Empire Theatre in the Gotham stage. To be honest, it's looking a little worse for wear as it is. Hold on, it looks like some words are forming. Where do you think they're going with this? Could the letters be about to spell Batman is stupid, or how about whoops, you've knocked some letters off? Nope, the phrase is actually completely unrelated to Injustice 2 because it's NetherRealm's other franchise, Mortal Kombat. The marquee ends up reading "Finish him," which is what you see in Mortal Kombat when your opponent is ready to have their skin torn off. What a coincidence that the letters fell off in that exact way. Do you think the developer intended that?
Okay, not to make this list into the best Mortal Kombat Easter eggs or anything, but For Honor also has a pretty cool tribute to MK hidden in it. To see it, load up a 2v2 duel on the Sanctuary map and make sure it's day. With that all done, angle your camera over to the mountain and you'll see a scene that'll be familiar to anyone who played Mortal Kombat 2. These 2 fighters on the bridge in the distance look like they're straight out of the pit stage, even down to the flames behind them. That can't be a coincidence. There's definitely a Mortal Kombat fan at Ubisoft. You'll notice there's no one hitting me. It's because I actually turned off the bots for this fight, which I recommend you do, just so you've got time to get a good old gorp. Otherwise, you'll end up like me, dead. Alright, I promise from now on, there are no more Mortal Kombat Easter eggs.
The Evil Within 2 is too busy scaring the crap out of you to waste time on silly jokes. Although, Sebastian can collect little toy mementos from other Bethesda games. Problem is, once you've seen a dinky model of Wolfenstein's Panzerhunds or Doom's Doom Guy, you'll want them for yourself. I smell a merchandise opportunity. But the Easter egg I want to highlight in this feature is something much better hidden. Early on in the game, you meet a Mobius technician called Liam O'Neill. He hides in the first safe room in the game. Considering what's outside the room, it's a sensible move. He contacts you over radio throughout the game, but when you reach chapter 8, you can choose to revisit him for a surprise. This involves a long trip back through the underground Marrow tunnels, but it's worth it for the scene that plays out. Let's watch it.
Sebastian, what are you doing here?
I'm in the middle of some serious right now, O'Neill. I could use some help out there.
No way.
Are you kidding? Do you know how long it took me to come back here to talk to you about this?
You could have just called, you know.
Are you coming with me or not?
I told you I wasn't going to leave this place. It's evil out there.
That may be, but there's evil within, too.
It's a rare chance for a giggle in a deeply disturbing world, and that's our kind of Easter egg.
Sonic Mania is absolutely rammed with Easter eggs, all of them sly shoutouts to die-hard fans of the series and Sega. The first in this entry is for anyone whose favourite place to hang out in the early 90s was an arcade, as Sonic Mania includes references to Sega's incredible racing game at Daytona, USA. To start, the iconic announcer from Daytona shouts out the 3, 2, 1 in the head-to-head mode, whilst there's also various fans that have High Class and Hornet written on the side, which is a throwback to the Daytona car. There's plenty of other chocolatey eggs about too. The same level includes Sonic diving headfirst into a massive popcorn maker. Yes, for any normal hedgehog or beast, this would result in hot, buttery death, but Sonic seems to manage just fine. Maybe this is due to the fact that Sonic had his own popcorn maker in real life called the Sega Sonic Popcorn Shop. This included a mini-game to pass the time, as the machine made your salted, buttered or curry flavoured popcorn. Yeah, Sonic may have good taste in footwear, but he had a rank taste in food. Shoutouts to the fact that you can change the video resolution to CRT filter, which brings the game back to its 90s visual roots, and the squished multiplayer screens, which are throwbacks to Sonic 2. Yes, you can barely see what's coming ahead of you, but any Easter egg which gives me a blast from the past and the good old days is alright by me.
Time now for a film reference. The stealth horror game Little Nightmares contains a neat throwback to one of the best horror flicks of the year. I am, of course, talking about It. To find the It nod, you have to play the Little Nightmares DLC called The Depths. About 10 minutes in, you'll come to a sewer. Resting here on the wet ledge is a small paper boat. Now, if you've seen the movie, you'll know that this boat plays a key scene, luring young Georgie down to the sewer by sailing through an open grate. Thankfully, there are no killer shape-shifting clowns here, only horribly demented creatures with very long arms who will also kill you, which, come to think of it, is just as bad. You don't have to confront them though, instead just stay here and play with your little boat. I know this is called The Depths, but I'm going to stay at the shallow end. None of this "you'll float too" nonsense, and if I see so much as a red balloon down here, I'm going to have a heart attack. Now, for me, one game that has always done Easter eggs really well has been Call of Duty. Now, usually those Easter eggs are hidden within zombies, which take whole teams of people trying to solve some of the most difficult puzzles that Treyarch's Jason Blundell and his team managed to put together. And that's now carried across to every single Call of Duty game, as zombies has become available franchise-wide, including this year's Call of Duty World War II, which if you complete can unlock some really cool cutscenes. But that's not the Easter egg that I'm most excited about in Call of Duty World War II in 2017, but instead I'm excited about all the Easter eggs that Sledgehammer have hidden in the brand new headquarters social hub. There are loads of hidden balls in headquarters which you can play with other players, but first you have to try and find them, which if you manage to do, you'll also complete the in-game challenges that will give you experience. The first one is by this artillery gun, the other is on top of the main bunker, which is ridiculously hard to get to, and the final one is on top of the Score Street Tower, which is also pretty damn hard, but good luck climbing up there, it does take a while. There's also the firing range sequences, which if you complete, you get some cool animations and some extra experience. The first one is on the right, where if you complete it in winter, snowmen heads appear rather than watermelons, and then you have the one in the distance, which causes an artillery strike to go off, and then the hardest of the three, where you have to shoot clay pigeons out of the sky, but will set a load of flares off, which looks pretty damn cool, but I'd recommend doing it with some friends. But I thought it was a cool addition to add these little Easter eggs into the brand new social hub for Call of Duty World War II. Let's talk buttons. Buttons can do so much. They can turn on your TV, they can turn off your TV, they can even launch nuclear missiles into space. In Battlefront 2, a button can summon the legendary Star Wars Cantina band. Fire up blast mode on Tatooine, head into the Cantina and hold X in front of the stage button, and you can see the chart toppers for yourself. Now, the Cantina band only appear in the form of a flickering hologram, but you kind of forgive that with Mos Eisley being an active war zone and all. Still, despite being a recording, it's clear the Cantina band haven't lost their trademark energy. Did you know that the band is actually called Fergan Dan and the model nodes, and the bald-headed aliens come from a race called Bith? They used to tour the front lines and entertain Republic soldiers, but by the time of Star Wars A New Hope, they had lost their fame and were reduced to playing in seedy bars. Yeah, don't step to me with Star Wars trivia, because I will school you. It's actually an okay tactic during a match to boot up the hologram and hide behind it, shooting people as they run past. No one ever thinks to look behind the giant space trumpet. Schoolboy error.
Our final entry also involves pressing secret buttons, though this one doesn't make any music, unless you like the thumping bass of C4 explosions. Out here in the salt flats of Ghost Recon Wildlands, Bolivia, to the west of the game's map, you'll find a button strapped to a post. What does it do? Well, of course you're going to press it, aren't you? A nice big button is scientifically irresistible, and it turns out the button blows half of Bolivia to hell. Nice! So much for being covert. They heard that explosion in Beijing. And that's not all. There's another button by the big dam, and pressing it unleashes, you guessed it, a wonderful fireworks display. Our apologies to the bird caught in the middle of it. That condor is screwed. Perhaps that bird gets his revenge with the third button, which causes a barrage of missiles to fire straight at whoever pressed the button. Don't worry, these are fun missiles full of confetti, just like at a kids' party. Oh, and in non-blowing up news, there's another Wildlands Easter egg out in the Salt Flats. Head to the west of the lithium mines, and after a short drive you'll come to a lone red chair out in the crispy white wilderness. If you've seen The Matrix, you'll recognise it as the chair Morpheus sits on as he doles out his trademark pills. I don't know whether I took the red pill or the blue pill. With these drug cartels around, I probably shouldn't be taking any pills. It's just not a smart idea.
So there we have it, a load of incredible Easter eggs from 2017. Make sure to let us know your favourites down in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos.
And make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. We will see you next time.
Bye!